Hi, Mr. Singh. Can you please just introduce yourself with a few words?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you, Pranav, and thank you for having me in this, meeting in this discussion. So my name is Dhananjay Singh, and I'm founder of Robopreneur. So I'm based out of Bangalore, India, and I come with about 27 years of technology experience. And at Robopreneur, we impart robotics and entrepreneurship training to young students like you and even to the engineering students. And we do program in our center. So we have three centers in Bangalore. And we also do online, and some of the students we have from US as well who are learning online. So I'm into robotics since I'm into robotics education since last 7.5 years. And I have been learning robotics since 2013 as passion. And my career has always been into software. I've been IT professional, and I have also worked for a few companies in US in Bay Area. And yeah, I'm really passionate about technology as well as education. So that's why I'm into robotics education.
Yeah, sounds like you've had like a very long journey, you've learned a lot. I was just curious, at what age did you start your STEM-focused career?
Okay, so when we talk about STEM, it includes science and math. So I always had this inclination towards science and math. Basically, that was my natural orientation. So no, that was always there. I never got opportunity to learn any technology like coding or robotics during my school days. And then I joined engineering, mechanical engineering, from one of the premium institutes in India. Finish my engineering and get on to build my career in software. So I've been into software development, and I my career grew, from as a developer to senior software architect. I also led multiple teams at leadership role, and have built like numerous of software systems. When it comes to robotics, I started learning as a passion, right, as a hobby. That no, because it's very interesting to interact with electronics using software, and that's the really cool thing about it, that you can control hardware with software. So so since 2013, I've been working on projects, building things on electronics, hardware, robotics, and that goes on. So it's almost about like 12 years, and yeah, that's how. No, then I got into robotics education in about 7 years back. So yeah, so that's what is my STEM journey, all about.
Wow, I mean, 12 years is a really long time, and evidently you have a lot of experience in both the engineering and software fields. But what would you say overall was your favorite STEM project you've done?
Okay, so so that is where I built a lot of projects using Arduino or Raspberry Pi. I'm very focused on open source robotics. And one of my favorite project was like, when I build robotic arm. So that was very interesting because you can control hardware using software. So that's how the robotic arm functioned. And that was one of my most interesting project because and that robotic arm had about 3 degrees of freedom. It was a basic robotic arm, but I could see the potential how software and hardware can create magic. So yeah, and along the way, like no, I built like multiple projects, using Arduino, which and many electronics projects as well. So a lot, but yeah, if you want one to stand out, that would be the robotic arm, and I'm sure more on pipeline, and they're coming up.
Oh, yeah, robotic arm sounds really cool. Must have been a lot of work to create it. And I mean, now moving
Yeah.
on to the subject, which we're here to talk about today, Robopreneur, your robotics education company. I mean, what motivated you to start like a robotics and STEM education company for students?
Yeah. So I have been always in technology. I built my career in technology, so I know the potential of tech, right? So I know that how much tech can do, because technology is actually like a superpower. The coding is again, no, you're getting massive computational power of the computer. You combine that with the hardware, and then you can create magic. You can solve any problem. And I see that robotics revolution is, we are actually already in robotics revolution, and robotics is next big thing. That's what I understood. And then I realized that schools are not very well equipped to handle, to impart quality robotics education, and robotics being such an essential subject which must be taught to students. So that's what motivated me to get in, to start my robotics education venture, which is Robopreneur. And no, like robotics is essential. It must be learned by everyone. And robotics is not only like, no, robotics consists of multiple technologies, right? Just not one technology. So it makes it very vast. It is incredibly vast. So it's better that children start learning earlier, at early age, and that's why our program at Robopreneur is from 8 years to 18 years. So no, from grade 3 to grade 12. No, because technology is vast and one needs time to cover all the aspects of robot building, which is coding, electronics, artificial intelligence, mechanical design, 3D printing, PCB design, whatnot. So we provide a very comprehensive program. We are based on open source robotics. So we use like Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, the things which a regular engineer or an entrepreneur will use to, prototype things, to build some test projects. So those are the things which we focus on. And as part of the journey, no, I authored a couple of books as well, and no, and more books are coming. No, more books are there in pipeline. So these are the two books which I've authored so far. So no, it is basically on electronics and advanced electronics, which is designed for young children, like starting 8 years old. So so that was the reason to get into robotics education, start Robopreneur, and focus on 8 to 18 year age group.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, seeing as right now like the world's in like the robotics revolution, and there's so many different like fields and aspects to robotics. How do you like at Robopreneur build your curriculum around like trying to teach robotic skills? It must be, I mean, it must be difficult trying to get, I mean, everything. Is there like a certain uh philosophy that you base your curriculum around?
Yeah, so the first and foremost philosophy is that the best learning happens from a trusted instructor, a trusted teacher. That's the best learning. A trusted teacher, a good teacher cannot be replaced by technology. It cannot be replaced by YouTube or AI, right? So, or maybe ChatGPT. It cannot be replaced by that. So, a good teacher is always required, and that has been my philosophy of creating a comprehensive curriculum in robotics. So I have experts in the team who have done engineering in electronics. So as we talk, like, there are not many colleges offering robotics as an engineering even now. So I have a lot of electronics engineers, software engineers. I myself come from a very rich tech background in software, and no, my passion is also in electronics. So now these experts work on this content. So one is that, no, that teacher, right? Now teacher is the most important person to get the content. The second most important thing which we design a curriculum is the student. What what is the best for the students? That is a starting point for us. How can a student benefit? And it's just not about a course or curriculum. We talk about skill building. So every program which we have, like for example, if we talk about this is the electronics. This is actually a skill a child will build, a student will build. This is advanced electronics, right? So this gets into complex circuits. And in advanced electronics, a 9-year-old would be able to handle triple five timer, decade counters, 7-segment displays to make no high quality and complex projects. So the student, what is actually the most important thing for the student to learn? How a student can learn, a young student, and that's how we make the curriculum such that we are able to design something which is for the students, which is very useful for the for a student. And again, the third philosophy which we follow is that we take that what is best for the student, like no, what is the best for the student. We don't consider that no, this is he's a child, or no is a child, whether the is a young kid, young student, 8-year-old, 9-year-old. No, we started what is most essential thing for one to acquire that skill in a professional way, and then we simplify those topics. So these are three principles which we work with, and then we when we are creating the content, we refer to a lot of books and a lot of content, even online, even like ChatGPT. We refer to a lot of content, and then with the experience, our experience of teaching students in 7.5 years, or whenever we have been creating the content, whatever experience we have in the teaching, we start baking in to create a very unique and very powerful, very effective, as well as very engaging content for the students. So our courses are just not courses; they're skills. One skill, one program, and one skill acquired. Like no, we have Python programming, we have artificial intelligence, we have data structures algorithm, we have competitive programming. So all these are skills, and when a student does that, they acquire that skill.
Yeah, I love that philosophy. I mean, teaching people real life skills that and like showing them how it can apply to the real world. I mean, and today it's hard to find a lot of like of these robotics education companies or startups. And in part, we think that's because there's a lot of roadblocks to creating these. So, in your opinion, what do you think was like the biggest challenge you faced while trying to create Roboprinter, and how did you like push through it and become better because of it?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge when I when I started learning, what I figured out was that no, first of all, hardware is hard. So there is a saying that hardware is hard. I come from software background, so when I started taking the hardware, then okay, yeah, I had to do a bit of learning, right? Especially simple projects are fine. No, if you want to blink an LED or make a circuits and all those things are fine. But when you start integrating motors, sensor, and you want to control a vehicle using a sensor, right? Because sensor will not give enough power. Now, how do you power that motor? A lot of complexity starts coming in, and then you combine that with software. So software hardware integration, so that starts making things very complicated, and that was also my reason to get into Robopreneur, because to start Robopreneur, because when I realized that no, me with so much of technology background, with so much I have done in tech field, if it is hard, if it is difficult for me, so for general people who are not in technology, it will be so difficult for them. So that was, and there is absolutely no way for anybody to impart these skills to the students, not even schools, not even parents, even those parents who are in IT. It is very difficult for even them to impart these skills because they would be proficient with maybe one or two technologies. With robotics, we are talking about tons of technologies, maybe 20, 25 technologies we are talking about. So that is what was there, no integration of hardware, software, and the way I saw it is like no, I started getting experts in the team. They're part of the team. So my R&D team has, so we are 16-member R&D team who are working on this content creation. They also go ahead and take classes. They get the feedback and then they incorporate in the in no the curriculum. So all those things is done. So yeah, robotics as in entirety, if you look at this, because a lot of things are not known, and then the compatibility between software and hardware between two different components, even that is very tricky. So that comes from somebody who is a professional in this field, and that's why my team has all engineers from electronics who have been working in robotics, and I myself come from software background. So that integration, through that, we are able to bring out a very comprehensive curriculum for our students, which covers every aspect of robot building from beginner to pro level. Every single technology we cover in our program.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, robotics is like a very big collection of a lot of different skills. And I mean, now circling a little back to the philosophy and like your learning experience, like going more in depth, like what skills do you think matter most for students that are like really want to go into like advanced robotics or artificial intelligence systems?
Yeah. So see, we talk about artificial intelligence, robotics, but one thing which we have to really focus on are the fundamentals. So when it comes to AI, everybody wants to learn AI, but before learning AI, one has to be very good at coding, very good at programming. So anybody who wants to learn robotics, they should be very good at circuit designing, right? So learning from the fundamentals is the should be the focus. How things work. No, for example, if there is a Ohm's law, what is Ohm's law? How does it work? When if there are resistors, how do you count the value of the resistors? So the basic science and the basic fundamentals from the concept perspective, like for example, if there's a buzzer, how does a buzzer work? How does a two-way switch works, right? How does the IR sensor or ultrasonic sensor works? What are the calculations? How does a motor driver, is able to control different parts of the motor? How you're able to do all that, right? So those are the fundamentals which has to be uh, the real focus for the students to learn. And to learn those fundamentals, it is essential that like both concepts and hands-on are paramount. One without other is actually is complete waste of time. So if you are learning just concept or you're just doing hands-on, it's a complete waste of time. It has to be the both. There has to be a concept and then that's on, then hands-on. And that's why these books, they cover concepts, right? They first cover concepts and then build the project. Like, no, they will talk about how does a buzzer work. Okay, there's a piezoelectric material inside it, and when you pass the current, it will bend, and when you change the direction, it will start buzzing. And then once you learn the concept, then you go ahead and build those hands-on circuits, so that then that thing becomes permanent in your mind. And secondly, avoiding a lot of AI tools, avoiding a lot of auto intelligence, which Copilot provides or which IDEs provide, avoiding that, learning those really the ropes, going to the fundamentals, drawing circuits, maybe with hand, designing software with hand, following flow charts and all those things. So focusing on the fundamentals is very essential. Other reason for this is that technology is evolving at a great pace. We don't even know that 2 years down the line, what will be the technology which will be there, right? So we are already talking about AI bubble burst, right? So uh, anybody who has strong fundamentals can handle this evolution of technology. Okay, so these are the things, and focusing on the fundamentals first. And I believe that tech learning has to be continuous. It has to be part of the curriculum, and students must learn over the years, because we learn math and science for like 12 years, right? Why why we are not doing the same thing for the technology? No, because technology is a real skill. It's one step ahead than the science behind it, but it can be very well learned by young children also. So it has to be continuous learning for long time, and technology learning should be part of the curriculum. It should be part of everything which we do. So yeah, so the most important thing is about focusing on the fundamentals, how exactly things works when it comes to coding. How does memory management happens? How what are the different syntax? And just not about syntax. How do you use this syntax to solve problems, to write code which is doing certain things, right? So that is what there has to be a focus to build those real skills, to build those real skills by learning those fundamentals step by step, step by step, in a structured way, and then your knowledge grows, and then from small projects you will start you will be able to make big robots.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we just talked about AI quite a bit, and like, I mean, staying on that topic a little bit, as I mean, especially since AI is getting bigger and bigger every day, especially with these large models like ChatGPT and Copilot. How do you feel that AI has impacted how your organization and curriculum like runs?
Yeah, so see, the AI is a great tool. So we just consider it as a tool, and tool will make life easier. It will make things faster. So AI is just a tool, and yeah, of course, we leverage it in our even course creation, content creation, even in marketing, even in no how can we have a focused marketing. So AI has a lot of ready-made solutions, but then we have to apply our own intelligence whether this will work or this will not work. So AI definitely, to start with, is a very powerful assistant. It will give you something to get started quickly, but then you have to really be cognizant about what is right, what is not right, and accordingly you take it. And we don't use AI much when it comes to the teaching for the children, because we don't want children to be using AI tools. We don't want children to be on YouTube. We don't want children to be on social media, because these tools makes you think that you know, but that's an illusion. You really don't know, because these tools, you listen to them and you think that, hey, you know, but without hands-on you will really not know that. So you must do hands-on. There has to be a step-by-step guidance, and there has to be mentorship. AI will no, throw content. It is learned or no, using the data and all. It's just throw content. But when it comes to the teacher can really know, assess what is your real need, and accordingly can provide you the do the best guidance. AI as a tool must be only used by experts who are already know the ropes. So yeah, you want to write code faster, use AI if you know coding, right? AI chat GPT is not replacement for coding. Okay, you not replacement for coding skills. You have to learn coding skills. You have to go to the statement by statement, variable by variable. You must understand that. You must be very proficient, and then you can start using AI tools to make your work really fast, right? So definitely AI is a great tool, but yeah, we have to be cognizant of, no, we have to be judicious on how to use it.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, it circles back to your learning philosophy about teaching the skills and the understanding over than just like telling somebody how to do it. And I mean, throughout this talk, we've talked about like how you started Robopreneur and like how like what you're currently doing at Robopreneur. And I'll go into like the future. What are you planning to do to improve your company further?
Yeah. Right. So Robopreneur is here to provide the best opportunities for the children. In Robopreneur, the central thing is the student. What is the best for the student? What is the most relevant skill the student would need? Right. So that's where we work towards it. Now, there's a lot of technology already around us. So we do the innovation in how can we bring that technology which can be understood by young children who are like in grade 3, grade 4, maybe grade 8, grade 9. Like so that's how we get those things, like, how we can make it, so that children can really understand and children can really learn on these things. So that is how we should be doing that. These technologies should must be learned in a great way. What was the second part of your question?
And the second part, sorry, is just like how are you going to like improve Roadrunner as like a just a learning experience
Yeah,
for like your students?
right. Absolutely. So we believe in micro innovations. We keep on coming up with, okay, what is the better way to engage students? What should we do so that in our learning platform that the student is more engaged, more hooked. At our center, playing games is absolutely no, no. We say no, you cannot play games. That is not a way we want to engage students. We tell them that no, you can play games, the games which you build. You can play with the robots which you build. So there are a lot of micro innovations which we do on how to make this content really interesting. We go all comprehensive, that no, we keep on like no, as of now we have two books. The third one is coming in about a month's time. So we keep on improving on that. And now the a big thing which we are working on and we are actually launching is the aerospace tech program. So that's what we are launching, because aerospace is a is pretty big opportunity for the students, because again, like robotics, it's again very vast, and aerospace builds on top of robotics. So we are launching that program, and we are starting with like no rocketry, and we are including like aero modeling, drones, landers, rovers, all this in a comprehensive way, even the aerospace program, so that no we can have more students launching their own startup, no launch in space technology or aerospace, and maybe building their own rockets, the next drone. So those are the things which we are bringing, that know what is the best for our students, which will be most relevant, most effective for them. So those are the things which we are currently doing with at Robopreneur.
Yeah. That sounds really exciting. I know aerospace is really like getting really big today, and I'm excited to see actually where this goes for your company. And now, like moving on to like for our viewers who like those who are listening to see how they can make their own robotic startups, what would you say is like a failure that you like went through and you've learned the most from?
Okay, so see, I don't believe in failures, because it's always a learning opportunity. Okay. If you're doing things, there are things which can go, which are bound to go wrong, but it's always a learning from that. Only failure which is there is not taking action. Not taking action. That's the only failure which is there. What One of the biggest failures which I think for me was that no, I couldn't see, I couldn't make wise decision when we were getting into pandemic, right? When pandemic was coming. So I couldn't see that, I couldn't do the planning because it came so rapidly. And so pandemics started in March of 2020. And then in January, I was contemplating go, whether to double down on online training model, or open my third center. So I decided, okay, let me open my third center, because there are a lot of students who are there in that area, and I can immediately get a lot of business there. But that was not the right thing to do. That was not the right approach. I did take action, but many times not taking action is also an action. So my biggest failure was that no, I could not anticipate that pandemic will be so big, and it will no and my decision, my vision to go with opening the third center instead of going online, right? So that was my biggest, I would think, the decision making. That was the biggest thing, and that took me a lot of hard time to get out of that. Again, we managed to survive in that pandemic, and no, we are still operating, whereas a lot of companies in robotics closed down. So yeah, so when we are working on something, there'll be some mistakes here and there'll be some failures, but there's always a learning opportunity and making the wise decision. And that's where I tell to all my students, even my team, that no, we should actually indulge in deep thinking. Every day we should do deep thinking, so that we are connected with no with the intuition. What are the intuition? What are the things going? So we need to really think and do deep thinking to see where we are going and what we should do. So that is something which we must all do to avoid these kind of wrong decisions, which then shape the path of what we do.
Yeah, I like that philosophy, like thinking anything's a learning opportunity. There's no real setbacks. And I like that. And I would just want to ask, and you might have already touched on this a little bit, but if you could like, go back in time and give one piece of advice to yourself, or really to just anybody who's looking to start their own like robotics company, what would you tell them?
Yeah, so I would love to see a lot of robotics company to come, and that's why we are collaborating with a lot of entrepreneurs to open new centers with the model which Robopreneur is following. And As of now, we have 3 centers live in Bangalore, and there are 7 more in pipeline. So maybe next 6 months we will have 10 centers for Robopreneur running. So my advice would be like, no, go organic, go slow, focus on fundamentals, take something no, which have first of all have a goal that know what you really want, what this startup must do for the students, for the target audience. Know what is the need of the target audience, how can this work which they are doing is going to help them to proceed, become better, or become successful, right? So, and always fundamentals, something which is there, we must be grounded in the fundamentals. At the same time, we have to have a good pace of learning, and we design the curriculum and the content in such a way that it becomes easier for students to assimilate, learn. Any complex topic can be broken down. Any complex topic can be broken down into small chunks, which can be easily understood by even young children. So that's a philosophy which I follow. And when I say go slow, I also mean that don't go for heavy funding, external funding, and all, because that is the glamour in which people think, hey, startup, if I get funded, I'm done. But that could be a problem, because getting a funding too early could be really a problem, because that will shield that will not allow entrepreneur to get a real message from the market that is this working, is my venture profitable, is this solution which is there, or am I just burning cash? So going slow, focusing on fundamentals, keeping the goal in mind, that know how this startup is going to benefit the student. I think those will be my advices for anybody who wants to build a robotics venture.
Yeah. Thank you. I love that advice and I really appreciate it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who really appreciate it too and will take it to heart. And just to end this on a little bit of a high note, if you had like unlimited resources to build any robot or anything you wanted, what would you create and why?
Okay, so yeah, that's a very interesting question, and yeah, that takes me back to my passion, and no, so I watched this movie, Real Steel, and I recommend everybody to watch that movie who are interested in robots. So that's where I think that at Robopreneur, we focus on primarily 4 big areas. One is agriculture, the second is defense, and then we have aerospace and sports robotics. These are the really big industries, and there's a lot of use of robots to be there in this industry to make things efficient, more productive, and is going to help everyone across the globe. My personal project, which I'm really favorite, is that if I have a lot of money, then I would really want to build the Atom robot, which was there in the real steel, a super intelligent humanoid, no, which can box, no, which can do the boxing. So I would really love to build a real life size no, humanoid like Atom. So that would be my pet project.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as we've reached the end, I just wanted to thank you, Mr. Singh, for taking the time to be with us here today.
Thank you so much, Pranav. Thank you so much for having me here on this call. And I hope this, whatever we discussed today will help you, and you will help other students who are listening to this. At Robopreneur, as I said, we follow open source robotics and focus on fundamentals. So I think that should be the the message which all the students must inculcate. Not just using AI tools is not the answer. AI tools should be avoided as much as it can be when it comes to education of young children, who are still in schools. Okay, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.